There we go.
Good morning.
Good morning. First our driveway. No more muddy trail to come down to our house. That was a pretty big deal. We've been mucking it, and the furthest I could come was about there anyways. But it was just, we're up a good foot or so from where we were. But anyways, we wanted to do a video to kind of catch up with you guys. There's kind of a lot of stuff on there. It's been, just about 6 weeks?
Yep.
So, got the batting board all done, which is pretty cool. In fact, let me show you real quick. Might as well, right? For all the people that are interested. Look at that beautiful driveway out there. Except for the ruts they dug. That's when they brought in the well truck. And you can see we actually shoveled a lot of it back in, and it's still quite the trench there. And their truck is still here too, so. But we're doing a couple videos today. That's why you're getting multiples. But anyways, we had to move the outhouse as well. This is now the batting board's all up, which is nice. So the kitchen, at least on the outside, is all done. There we go.
Yep, nice and pretty.
Yeah, versus the original just being a deck. So we got that done. Let me just set that on the stump there.
Ooh.
There we go. We're figuring out our cameras here today. So we got that done. We insulated under the cabin, which was a nice upgrade.
Yes.
Because basically it was your joists and then 2 layers of plywood. That's all we had, which was okay when we first moved in.
Yeah, when it was warm.
Right, but as it's been getting colder and colder, you could feel the floor getting colder and colder. So we got these things called FrostPak 200, which gives you 200 board feet, which basically means 200 square feet. I don't know why they even bother saying board feet, but it gives you 1 inch thick by 1 foot square, and you just spray it on. That was interesting.
Yes.
You get 30 seconds before it gums up the nozzle, which is nice. They give you extra nozzles, but you're consistently hustling.
Fast.
Yeah, and you're under the cabin. So I've only got about that much space under the cabin, so I'm literally rolling around under the cabin in a Tyvek suit, respirators, safety glasses, gloves, and dragging a hose and tanks and just spraying away. But it worked out very well. It took us 3 tanks, so it cost about $1,200 to do underneath the whole cabin.
Which was still probably half of what a company would have cost to spray foam insulate.
Yeah, I did the labor, but then again, sweat equity, I suppose.
Right.
So that got done. The batting board got done.
The outhouse twice.
Has been dug and moved twice. Yeah, that was interesting.
Oh dear.
We have that natural spring in the side of the driveway, which we discovered. It's constantly moving with water. Kids always want to dam it up and play with it, which I guess is just kids. I suppose if I was a kid, we'd be doing it too. But I showed the well guy, and he said, "Oh, that's fantastic." So that's usually very clean water. He said basically it's just the water's trying to find a point of equalization, and it's found a way out under that pressure, because we get a lot of slate, and I guess it's called like table rock or something. Like it's very flat, almost sheets of rock. In fact, there's a quarry right down the road, which kind of shows it as it comes out of the ground. But pretty neat stuff. So I'm excited about that too, because he said it'll probably never dry out, which is bad for the driveway, good for the water source. So
right, because we can always dig it out in the future, use it as water.
Yeah, it'd be nice to kind of dig it out the muck and line it with rock, and then figure out either running something straight. He said it's comes straight up, so I can either put something down in there or whatever. I heard of something called the spring box too, which I guess you build a box around it, like a concrete box, and then it fills up with water, and then you get the water off the top of it. That's all the sediment kind of settle down, and you're in a sense drawing water off the top of the tank. So it's kind of like the well idea, because a well is still just water out of the ground, but it settles down a lot. But anyways, so 6 weeks. How do you feel after 6 weeks?
Tired.
Yeah. Carrie's been having a hard time sleeping, so she gets a couple hours a night.
We'll be in a minute. We're doing our update video.
Yep. That's our nephew Michael staying with us for a while here. He's doing a good job and helping us out. Yep. So we're thankful to have him.
It's been interesting.
Yep.
It's been like this a little bit.
Yeah.
I think Creed's doing really well. He absolutely loves it out here.
He's grown 4 inches.
I know.
So,
Sayla likes it too. She's kind of like me. She doesn't do well with change. So she'll have bits of emotions and stuff like that, which is interesting to try to figure out because I have a hard enough time regulating my emotions, let alone teaching a 8-year-old how to regulate her emotions.
Right.
But so far, not bad. She still likes it here. Um, I think the thing that I hate the most is dishes. It takes like an hour
Yeah.
to do dishes, and you have several pots of water, and they sometimes don't always feel like they're fully clean, but good enough. We use rainwater. We actually got a ton of rain last night, so I got lots of water left. I'll barrel it all up. But other than that, we shower about once a week. It hasn't been that bad.
right. It's been a little tough, and it sounds terrible, but
You get used to it.
you get used to. But the other thing too is for 1,000 some years or whatever, people have not been so hyper hygienic as we are today, and again, you get used to it, because it's about getting the work done. It's about getting through life. It's not about smelling foo-foo or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But a little side note on the washing the dishes. So I did the dishes one day while you were gone to do something nice, and I realized, man, we need water in a big way so that we don't have to spend 45 minutes to do 2 pans of dishes, because that
Right.
was just, so it made me appreciate it a lot more.
Yeah.
But I think from my perspective, I think the struggle for you is just we don't have the amenities lined up yet, so it makes your work harder.
Right.
But in the meantime, I'm trying to get all this mountain of work done, especially before winter, so that I can make your life easier.
Right.
So that stresses me out. In the meantime, there's just daily life. There's dogs to take care of. There's kids to keep occupied
Right.
and whatever. And they have some days where they're fantastic and they're just helping out. Yesterday they were stacking wood and other things in between playing. I mean, they
Right.
had a 60% play, 40% work.
Right.
But they were behaving and they were getting work done. And meanwhile, we got work done, so it's very productive. That's a good day.
Right.
We took yesterday, we went out to the city to the bookstore, and everybody got a bunch of books. And that was nice because we watch some DVDs and TV, but we don't try not to keep that as our main
Right.
focus or outlet. So, but yeah, I think for me, mostly the month has been a blur. I had 2 weeks where I was out working for David, getting some work wrapped up for him, and that's a tough one because then I got my mind is split in 2 places. Guys don't do that very well. I have a hard time. I like working on this box and then changing and working on this box. I don't like having 2 boxes open
Mhm.
and taking parts from one to the other. So in a sense, I got some tools here and some tools there, and I've got tools in storage. So it's tough because I know I have this tool, but I don't have it there.
Mhm.
So I may have to go buy a small tool that I already have, which is very frustrating. But there's a lot of work. We've had some people help out. Brian's been a huge help. A lot of props to
Mhm.
Brian for helping out a lot. Michael's been here helping us out, which is very good.
Yeah.
My brother's come out a couple times. Wayne, who's way out in Lafayette, which
Yeah.
is 2 hours away,
Yeah.
came all the way out and helped me out, which was fantastic. Even just hanging out and talking is just appreciated because
Yeah.
there's not a lot of people to
We'll drive 2 hours just
Yeah.
to for a day.
But there's not a lot of people to chat with that you have comfortability to be open with, because we talk about some things that I just wouldn't share with other people because I've known him for 20 years. A really great guy. Well, it's
Well, I
probably
think
longer now, but anyways.
part of it too is finding people that will not think we're crazy.
Right, because
Just being understanding
right.
and not being realistic and pointing out their concerns, but not being obnoxious about
yeah.
it.
Or trying to sway us to whatever, because everybody's different. Nobody knows the backstory we have, not completely, or it's very easy to make a judgment when someone cuts you off, but you don't know if that person is in terrible pain and trying to make it to the hospital or whatever. I mean, granted, most likely it's not. I get it, but you don't know all the ins and outs.
Right.
So it's very easy to make a decision or judge on somebody. So I'm enjoying it. I almost feel guilty to enjoy it because I know it's hard for you.
I think I was fine until about week 4. I think week 4, towards the end, my body was really acting up. I was really sick. We ended up going to the emergency room that one night. And that weekend was where it was just, I think my body was finally like, okay, I need to rest. And the realization that I wasn't going home, that this was now our home.
Right.
You know, just the emotions that I think women naturally deal with. But then after that, a couple of days and everything, it seemed to pass and back into the swing of things and getting work done when we can. So.
Right, and we just got to get to a point of, you have to get to a point of not pushing so hard too,
Yeah.
because it's just it's a regular line, because I know my wife and you tend to go from this point to I do this much work, and then it knocks you back down to here,
Right.
and then rather than staying at a nice middle ground and being consistent there, because I think that's healthier for you. You know, there's a lot of work to do, and I think it's hard for you to watch me do lots of work all day long sometimes.
Right.
But at any rate, driveway being was a big one. We got that done just in time. The guy came out this past weekend. So today's what?
Right.
Thursday. So they came here Wednesday. He had it done Saturday. Actually,
he
did
came
it
out
Friday.
Yeah,
one
day.
He said he was gonna have it done over the weekend. So, you know, he's a good guy. Not much of a talker, but that's okay too sometimes.
Did good work.
He did good work. He leveled it all out. The material he used, I was a little concerned about at first, but it worked out correctly. It's packing down good. We'll have to readdress it in the springtime.
Right.
Because it's such a muddy area down below. But anyways, the Providence guy, that worked out well. The timing for that got done because we had no idea when the guy was going to come for the well. It was, I'll be here in the next week or two.
Right.
Or first there was nothing, no information whatsoever. Then it was a week or two. So we even called and say, do we need to get this done? And got no response.
Right.
So we bit the bullet. We got the guy to come and put the driveway in, and then right after that, it was, hey, I'm coming to the well.
Right.
So, you know, God's got a timing, and it's not long-sighted, which is frustrating because we want to know. We're human. We want to know, well, God, what's 3 hills over? And God says, well, just deal with what's right in front of you. Deal with that. I'll take care of the rest. So it's been working out. God's been taking care of us. You know, we're working through it.
Yes.
So now we're into the marathon stage of it. This isn't the sprint, but as winter comes in, it's going to be different because the winter comes in, I think it's going to slow down today. It's funny, yesterday was, 70?
Yeah.
And now
the day before that was like 75.
Yeah, and now I'm wearing a jacket and hat. It's down to 40, I think, right now.
Yeah.
It's got cold. It swung huge last night with the rain. So we'll see where it goes from here. But being this far north and having 70 for a couple of days was fantastic. And that's a big thing, too. That helped a lot. Dry things out, but it'll help the mood and attitude. Let the kids get out to play a lot, which helps to get them out of the house. It got us a lot of sunshine, which helps with our mood and attitude, and it got a lot of work done. And it got me back to the house. You know, it's funny how things work out, because you think, well, finances as a guy, and I had a nice side job, was paying very well, and it was good customer, it was good work, no problems, but it was taking me away from the house, and it was splitting my attention, and I think it was really affecting me, my attitude or whatever, just making me struggle, because it just almost seemed like a rush out the door. Then I'm working, then I'm coming back, and we're too worried about the finances. But now that I'm back home, it's like I'm just focused on this. This is getting things done, and attitude's much better rather than dividing attention. So less stressful for me. And it's funny how it's sort of illogical in my mind, because we're just spending money right now. We're spending a lot of money to get things done, and we only have so much to get all the infrastructure done.
Right.
And then it's figuring out where to save the money, where to spend the money, because we have only so much. And do we spend the money on having him hook up, for example, the well? Do we have him just drill the well, and I get help and I put the pump in and I run all the electric and I run the PEX? Doesn't seem too complicated. Or do I just say, go ahead and do it, get it done, because I got to work on the addition, and then I can just, it's already right there, and I can just run it up and make a little hot box and run it straight up, and I'm done. It's just kind of figuring those things out. It's hard to understand
Right.
where to save it, where to spend it. I know our pastor's very frugal, and he would say, "Save it, don't spend it, don't spend anything." You know, he'd say up here the crooks. In
We'll ask
Ohio,
him
the
to do the
promised
pump.
land. I know,
Let him
right?
do the pump.
Right. In Ohio, the promised land, everything they do is just and upright. But in New York, we're a bunch of crooks apparently. Um, that's a little chuckle, but he's a good guy. But he definitely would not want to spend the money. But I just have so much to do, and I'm pretty much solo up here. We're kind of a half an hour even from everybody at church, so and you know I'm hesitant to ask people because I don't want to put all that burden on other people. We have enough burden. Everybody's got a lot of things to do. He's a super busy guy. A lot of people are. Brian's retired, but he tends to hustle, but he also enjoys doing this stuff. So I think he does. Hope he does. so so he's been a big help. But you know, I don't want to feel people to feel I'm taking advantage of them or ask too much of them. So I'm hesitant to ask people. But you know, if I really need to, I will, because
Yeah.
they're Christians. We are responsible to each other to help out. I'd be willing to help people out, and I have helped people out. It's just a weird spot to be in, I suppose.
Yeah.
But anyways, well, thank you for the comments people left. I didn't know, like Aunt Becky left a comment about the wood cook stove, which I didn't know that they used to use a cook stove. That's pretty cool.
And we'll explain that it's not too close to the wood.
Yes, it's not too close. I crank that thing for a whole day. It's all insulated on the side. All the heat comes up off the top and off the face where the stove is. So I didn't have any issues with that. Warmth against the side of the house or anything.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'll take that cladding off the inside of the house by the stove. But that'll become springtime when it gets warm enough. I don't have to worry. Yeah, we're not going to be doing that. There's enough projects to do right now.
Right.
So, but we'll start catching up on the videos now that we've got more time at home.
Right.
So we got the well one pretty much finished. You know, it's all explained and everything. And then this one kind of does the overhaul. I would have liked to have broken it down a little bit more, like just for the insulation and stuff, but I don't know how many people really enjoy that sort of technical stuff and whatever. I think people just kind of want to know where we're at. But if we get the expansion done, that'll add 25% more to the house. So
we'll have doubled
literally doubled our house size if we get that addition. And I'm just concerned a little bit the way the eaves are and the roof line is and how to get that all tied in, because I can't go underneath it and I can't just tie into the back, so I got a big window in the back in the way. So you know, being a small space, you got to really figure out the puzzle. You can't just slap it on.
Right.
So, but I think that's it for now.
Yeah, I think it's time for coffee and breakfast.
Time for breakfast, yeah. So, all right. Well, love you guys. Talk
Love
to you
you.
soon.